Imagine standing in line at a bustling coffee shop, patiently waiting your turn, when someone suddenly cuts in front of you. A wave of frustration rises, and you have a choice. Do you react angrily, stay silent, or is there a better way to deal with such selfish behavior? We've all encountered moments like this, where someone's blatant disregard for others stirs a response in us. But what if I told you there's an ancient philosophy that can help you handle these situations with calm and grace? Welcome to a journey through Stoicism, an age-old wisdom that offers powerful strategies for dealing with complex, selfish people. In this video, we'll explore how the greatest Stoic minds, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, face their challenges with selfish individuals and how their teachings can be applied to your modern life. Whether you're dealing with rude customers, toxic coworkers, or manipulative friends, Stoicism holds timeless answers to these frustrating encounters. But it doesn't stop at theory. We're diving into actual, practical stories from ancient Rome, offering insights that can change how you respond to selfish behavior today. Are you ready to transform your mindset and find peace, no matter what others throw your way? If you want to continue discovering how Stoic principles can bring more tranquility and control into your life, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Let's unlock the power of Stoicism together. 1. The historical foundation of Stoicism. Stoicism, a philosophy that originated in Athens around 300 BCE, took root during one of the most influential periods in history, the height of the Roman Empire. Although its founder, Zeno of Citium, established the groundwork in Greece, Stoicism flourished in Rome, where it became a guiding force for people from all walks of life, from enslaved people to emperors. The philosophy is built on the belief that the only true good in life is virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control, and that everything else, including wealth, status, and even the actions of others, is ultimately indifferent to our happiness. At its core, Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control external circumstances, we can always control how we respond to them. This idea of focusing on what lies within our control is a central Stoic lesson, one that remains highly relevant even today. It urges us to direct our energy toward improving our thoughts and actions rather than attempting to change or judge the behavior of others. By the 2nd century CE, Stoicism had risen to prominence across Roman society, influencing key figures such as the philosopher Seneca, the formerly enslaved person Epictetus, and the emperor Marcus Aurelius. These thinkers offered philosophical reflections and practical advice on navigating life's difficulties, especially when dealing with selfish or inconsiderate individuals. For the Stoics, encounters with difficult people were not merely challenges but opportunities to practice virtue and strengthen character. In the following sections, we'll see how this timeless wisdom played out in the daily lives of ordinary Romans, showing how Stoic principles were applied to deal with selfish behavior in practical, everyday situations. Whether handling rude customers, navigating toxic social dynamics, or maintaining integrity in the political arena, Stoicism provided a framework for gracefully responding to life's difficulties and composure. 2. The key Stoic philosophers and their teachings. Regarding Stoicism, a few towering figures stand out as the most extraordinary minds behind its enduring teachings. These philosophers didn't just theorize about virtue. They lived it and left behind a legacy of wisdom that still resonates today. 3 critical thinkers, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, crafted practical approaches to handling life's challenges, especially dealing with selfish or demanding individuals. Seneca was a Roman statesman and philosopher who served as a tutor to Emperor Nero. In his writings, he often explored how to apply Stoic principles in daily life, particularly when faced with anger or frustration. One of Seneca's key ideas was that the best remedy for anger is simply to delay it. He advised that taking time before reacting could calm our emotions and choose a more measured, rational response, mainly when dealing with inconsiderate or selfish people. Epictetus, born into slavery, became one of the most respected Stoic teachers of his time. His approach to Stoicism was intensely practical, emphasizing that while we can't control other people's actions, we have complete control over how we perceive them. One of his famous teachings encourages us to turn inward whenever we feel offended by someone else's behavior. Rather than blaming others, we should examine our expectations and reactions. In doing so, we can let go of unnecessary anger and focus on what truly matters, our thoughts and actions. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor of Rome, left behind his Reflections and Meditations, which offers profound insights into Stoic thought. One of his guiding principles was to be strict with oneself and tolerant of others. He reminded himself often that people act out of ignorance rather than malice, and that we should focus on improving ourselves rather than getting worked up over the behavior of others. His Stoic resilience is especially noteworthy, given the immense pressures and challenges of ruling an empire. Each of these philosophers emphasized a critical Stoic practice, focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts, decisions, and reactions, while accepting what is beyond it. When dealing with selfish or rude behavior, their advice is clear. Don't waste your energy trying to change others or become angry. Instead, use these moments to strengthen your character, maintain your composure, and practice virtue. In the next section, we will see how ordinary Romans applied these teachings to navigate their daily interactions with selfish individuals. By embodying these principles, they found ways to stay calm and resolute, regardless of the problematic people they encountered. 3. Character 1. Lucius, the Roman shopkeeper. Lucius, a humble shopkeeper in the bustling Roman port city of Ostia, lived a life of daily challenges, especially in dealing with demanding customers. Lucius sold everything from wine to bread to the city's residents in his small shop. Like many of us, he encountered all kinds of people. Some were kind and reasonable, but others were demanding, rude, or selfish. Yet, instead of letting these interactions disturb his peace, Lucius embraced Stoic principles to handle each situation gracefully and with self-control. Every morning, Lucius began his day by reading a passage from the Enchiridion, the Stoic handbook by Epictetus, which reminded him that external events, like rude customers, didn't have the power to upset him. What mattered was his response to them. One regular customer, Claudia, was known for her sharp tongue and constant complaints. Lucius might have let her criticism frustrate him in the past, but now, rooted in Stoic wisdom, he remained calm. When she angrily demanded a refund for stale bread, Lucius didn't react irritably. Instead, he calmly apologized and offered a discount on a fresh loaf, turning a potential conflict into a peaceful exchange. He understood that it wasn't Claudia's words that provoked him, but his perception of them. By adjusting his perspective, he maintained control over his emotions and defused the situation with dignity. Another customer, Quintus, was a wealthy merchant who often tried to take advantage of Lucius by bargaining unfairly. When Quintus insisted on paying less than the cost price for Lucius's best olive oil, Lucius applied the Stoic teaching of Marcus Aurelius. You always have the option of having no opinion. Rather than getting angry or defensive, Lucius calmly explained his prices and allowed Quintus to choose without compromising his principles. This steady and composed response demonstrated Lucius's mastery of self-control, even when faced with selfish demands. Throughout his day, Lucius encountered more difficult customers, a group of rowdy sailors, a wealthy matron accusing him of short-changing her, and a bureaucrat demanding special treatment. Yet, in each case, he remained steadfast in his Stoic practice. Lucius focused on what was within his control, his reactions and behavior, rather than on the actions of others. He saw every challenging interaction as an opportunity to strengthen his character and practice virtue. By midday, Lucius had successfully navigated numerous difficult situations without losing his temper or compromising his values. He realized that true wealth wasn't found in material possessions or the success of his business, but in cultivating inner peace and resilience. As he reflected on his day, he felt content knowing that he had remained true to himself, no matter how selfish or rude others had been. Through the lens of Stoicism, Lucius transformed each encounter into a chance to grow stronger in virtue and self-discipline. Lucius's story shows how Stoicism can be applied to even the most everyday interactions. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts and reactions, and letting go of what we cannot, we can gracefully handle selfish or brutal people and maintain our peace of mind. 4. Character 2. Valeria, the wealthy Roman matron. Valeria, a Roman matron of high social standing, lived a life of luxury and privilege. Born into a wealthy family and married to a powerful senator, she was no stranger to the pressures and complexities of Roman high society. While her life seemed desirable, it also came with challenges, especially dealing with selfish friends and navigating the sharp social rivalries surrounding her. Valeria's mornings began with quiet reflection, inspired by the Stoic philosopher Musonius Rufus, who believed that women, like men, had a natural capacity for virtue. Her daily readings reminded her that virtue, not material wealth or social status, accurately measured a fulfilled life. With this mindset, Valeria prepared herself to face the selfish behavior and subtle manipulation that often accompanied the social circles in which she moved in. One particular challenge Valeria faced came from a close friend of her husband, Quintus, who frequently helped himself to the expensive wine in her household cellar without permission. In the past, this would have left Valeria feeling frustrated and unsure of how to handle the situation without offending. However, with the guidance of Stoic teachings, she approached the issue calmly. Instead of confronting Quintus angrily, she politely instructed her steward to keep a closer eye on the wine inventory and remind Quintus that while he was welcome to dine at their home, any wine taken home must be purchased at market price. This response allowed Valeria to address the issue directly while maintaining her composure and avoiding unnecessary conflict. Later in the day, Valeria faced the more subtle pressure of hosting a luncheon for the wives of other prominent senators. These gatherings were often fraught with gossip, rivalry, and veiled insults. Valeria knew she would be judged by the wealth displayed at her table and how she handled the social games her guests played. Throughout the luncheon, she relied on Stoic teachings to keep her composure. For instance, when Livia, one of the guests, made a snide remark about the quality of Valeria's curtains, an expensive set worth thousands of denarii, Valeria didn't respond defensively. Instead, she graciously thanked Livia for her keen eye and even asked for her opinion on potential redecoration ideas. This unexpected response diffused what could have been a source of tension and turned it into a productive conversation. Another challenge came from Claudia, who boasted about her husband's recent political victory, implying that Valeria's husband was less successful. Rather than engaging in this unspoken competition, Valeria remembered Seneca's words, "All cruelty springs from weakness." She congratulated Claudia sincerely, refusing to let herself be dragged into a rivalry that didn't serve her peace of mind. Finally, when Octavia, another guest, tried to pry into a sensitive family matter involving Valeria's sister, Valeria skillfully changed the subject, maintaining her sister's privacy while keeping the conversation light and pleasant. By focusing on what she could control, her reactions, Valeria navigated these social traps gracefully, staying true to her Stoic values. After the luncheon, Valeria took time to reflect on her day. While the pressures of her privileged life were significant, Stoicism allowed her to remain centered. She reminded herself that true wealth wasn't in her luxurious villa or the expensive silk curtains, but in her ability to handle difficult people and situations without losing her inner peace. Valeria's story demonstrates that even in a life filled with privilege and luxury, the principles of Stoicism are invaluable. By focusing on her thoughts and actions rather than being swept up in the behavior of others, she was able to maintain her integrity and navigate selfishness with poise. Her experience shows us that whether in ancient Rome's palaces or today's social dynamics, Stoicism offers a timeless approach to dealing with selfish behavior and preserving our inner calm. 5. Character 3. Marcus, the Roman senator. Marcus Aurelius Quintus, a Roman senator, faced different challenges from Lucius and Valeria, but selfishness and ambition were no less prevalent in the political arena. In the Senate, Marcus had to navigate a world of power plays, corruption, and personal gain, where many of his colleagues prioritized their interests over the welfare of the Republic. Yet, like Lucius and Valeria, Marcus relied on Stoic principles to guide him through these murky waters with wisdom and integrity. Marcus started each day by reading from his journal, inspired by the meditations of the philosopher Emperor Marcus Aurelius. One particular reflection stayed with him. The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil. With this mindset, Marcus reminded himself not to take others' selfish behavior personally, understanding that their actions reflected their ignorance, not his. One of Marcus's most significant challenges came from a fellow senator, Bassus, who was notorious for selfishness. Bassus was pushing for a tax reform that would benefit wealthy landowners at the expense of the ordinary people. Knowing that Marcus had a reputation for fairness, Bassus approached him with a sly smile, hoping to win his support by promising mutual benefits. Marcus might have been angered by such blatant self-interest in the past, but now, armed with Stoic wisdom, he remained calm. He saw Bassus not as an enemy, but as a misguided man. Drawing on the Stoic belief that one should always act in service of the greater good, Marcus calmly replied that while he appreciated Bassus's confidence, his duty was to serve all citizens, not just the wealthy. By staying true to his principles, Marcus stood firm without resorting to anger or insults. Throughout the day, Marcus faced several more tests of his Stoic resolve. A group of senators attempted to bribe him with a rare and expensive gift, hoping to secure his support for a new aqueduct project that would benefit their estates but burden the public. Marcus politely declined, suggesting that the funds for the gift could be better used to help subsidize grain for people experiencing poverty. Later, a rival senator publicly accused Marcus of incompetence in managing the grain supply, a critical responsibility for keeping Rome's population fed. Instead of reacting defensively, Marcus calmly presented the facts, demonstrating his competence while avoiding personal attacks. He saw the accusation not as a reflection of his character, but as an opportunity to practice patience and composure. Lastly, Marcus was pressured by the emperor's favorite to support an expensive military campaign that would bring glory to the emperor but hardship to the people. Rather than give in to this selfish ambition, Marcus respectfully presented a cost-benefit analysis of the campaign, highlighting the potential harm it would cause Roman citizens. He proposed alternative ways to honor the emperor to benefit the empire and the people. By the end of the day, Marcus had faced multiple selfish schemes and underhanded tactics, but he remained unwavering in his Stoic principles. He didn't allow the ambitions or corruption of others to sway him from his duty or disturb his peace of mind. Reflecting on his day, Marcus was reminded of Epictetus's teaching, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." Marcus lived out his Stoic beliefs through his actions, showing that authentic leadership means standing firm in one's values, even in the face of selfishness and corruption. Marcus's story demonstrates the power of Stoicism in the world of politics and leadership. While others may have been swayed by personal gain or anger, Marcus focused on what he could control, his thoughts, actions, and decisions, without getting dragged into the selfishness around him. His example shows that Stoicism offers personal peace and a framework for ethical leadership, even in the most challenging environments. By staying true to one's principles and focusing on the greater good, we can maintain integrity and navigate even the most corrupt situations with wisdom and strength. 6. Application in the modern-day context. Although we no longer live in a world of togas and Roman markets, the challenges of dealing with selfish people remain remarkably similar today. Stoicism offers timeless strategies to maintain our composure and integrity, whether it's a demanding customer, a manipulative colleague, or social pressure on social media. Let's explore how the teachings of Lucius, Valeria, and Marcus can be applied to the complexities of modern life. The modern Lucius, retail and customer service. In today's fast-paced world, retail and customer service people often face the kind of rude and demanding behavior that Lucius encountered in his Roman shop. Imagine Sarah, a barista at a busy coffee shop in New York City. She deals with many customers daily, some friendly, others impatient. One morning, a businessman cuts the line and demands immediate service, echoing Quintus's behavior in Lucius's story. Instead of becoming frustrated, Sarah draws on Stoic principles, staying calm and explaining the fairness of serving customers in order. Like Lucius, she focuses on what she can control, her reaction, rather than the rude customer's behavior. Later, when a customer insists that their latte wasn't made correctly, Sarah could get defensive. But instead, she remembers Marcus Aurelius's advice. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. She calmly apologizes for the inconvenience and offers to remake the drink, turning a potential conflict into a chance to show her professionalism and grace. The modern Valeria, navigating social media. In the digital age, the pressures Valeria faced in Roman high society are amplified through social media. Take Emma, a marketing executive who, like Valeria, feels the constant pressure to maintain a specific image. Her Instagram feed is filled with posts of acquaintances flaunting their luxurious vacations and designer wardrobes. The temptation to compete and prove her worth by showing off her achievements is strong, but Emma recalls Seneca's advice. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. She realizes these curated images are far from reality, just as Valeria's elaborate dinner parties didn't represent her true fulfillment. Instead of getting caught up in this digital competition, Emma limits her social media use and focuses on building genuine relationships in the real world. When a colleague tries to take partial credit for one of her accomplishments in a subtle social media comment, she resists the urge to respond defensively. Instead, she thanks her colleague for their contribution, demonstrating teamwork and refusing to engage in petty online squabbles. The modern Marcus, office politics. In the corporate world, office politics can be as treacherous as the Roman Senate. John, a middle manager at a large corporation, faces challenges similar to those Marcus encountered with his selfish and ambitious colleagues. During a team meeting, a coworker tries to take credit for John's idea. Rather than letting anger control his response, John remembers Epictetus's teaching. You are not your body and hairstyle, but your capacity for choosing well. John calmly acknowledges his coworker's contribution while restating his original idea, maintaining his professionalism, and setting a positive example for his team. Later, when John's supervisor pressures him to manipulate a report to make the department's numbers look better, John channels the integrity of Marcus Aurelius. He refuses to compromise his principles, explaining why he cannot falsify the data. Instead, he offers to work on strategies to improve the department's performance. Like Marcus, John focuses on long-term integrity over short-term gains, embodying the Stoic virtues of courage and justice. Stoicism and modern technology. Our Roman counterparts didn't have to deal with the constant pings of smartphones or the endless scroll of social media, but Stoic principles can still guide us through these modern challenges. The constant connectivity of today's world requires modern self-discipline. Just as Marcus Aurelius chose which social engagements to attend, we can decide when to be available online. Setting boundaries around device use and carefully choosing our sources of information is a modern application of Stoic self-control. When it comes to online arguments, Stoicism offers invaluable advice. Before engaging in a heated debate, we might ask, as Marcus Aurelius did, is this essential? Often, the Stoic choice is disengaging from unproductive conflicts that waste our time and energy. FOMO, fear of missing out. The fear of missing out, FOMO, drives many of our decisions in today's fast-paced world, pushing us to overcommit and make choices that don't align with our values. A Stoic would remind us to focus on what truly matters. Epictetus taught that it's not external events that disturb us, but how we react to them. By applying this wisdom, we can resist the pull of FOMO and focus on the experiences and relationships that bring real meaning and contentment to our lives. Stoicism and modern self-care. Many modern self-care practices align closely with Stoic principles. Mindfulness and meditation, widespread today, closely resemble the Stoic practice of daily reflection. Just as Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal to process his thoughts, we can use journaling to gain perspective and manage our emotions. Stoics also practiced voluntary discomfort, such as fasting or wearing simple clothing, to build resilience. In modern terms, this might translate to practices like cold showers or digital detoxes, helping us grow more robust and less dependent on external comforts. In today's world, the wisdom of Stoicism is as relevant as ever. Whether navigating office politics, dealing with demanding customers, or resisting the pressures of social media, Stoicism offers practical tools for maintaining our integrity, controlling our reactions, and focusing on what truly matters. By embracing Stoic principles in our modern lives, we can handle selfish behavior gracefully and find inner peace amidst the chaos of the digital age. 7. Stoicism and modern technology. The ancient Stoics may not have had smartphones or social media, but their philosophy offers potent insights into managing modern technology's constant distractions and challenges. Stoic principles help us regain control over our time, attention, and emotions in a world where we are always connected and bombarded with information. Managing constant connectivity. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the endless notifications, emails, and messages demanding our attention. This constant availability can drain our mental energy and make us feel like we are always on. A Stoic approach to this challenge begins with setting boundaries. Just as Marcus Aurelius chose which social engagements to attend based on what was essential, we too can decide when and how we are available online. Practicing self-discipline by scheduling time for digital breaks or limiting screen time allows us to regain control over our mental space and focus on what truly matters. Information overload. The internet has given us access to an endless stream of news, opinions, and information. However, this also comes with the risk of information overload. The Stoics taught us to focus on what is within our control. In this context, it means being intentional about the information we consume. Epictetus wisely said, "Don't just say you have read books. Show that through them you have learned to think better." Instead of endlessly scrolling through news feeds or consuming content passively, we can apply Stoic discipline by choosing our sources wisely and ensuring the information we take in helps us think more clearly and live better. Navigating online arguments. Social media can be grounds for arguments, misunderstandings, and conflict. Whether it's a heated political debate or a personal disagreement online, it's easy to get sucked into unproductive exchanges that only escalate tensions. The Stoic question, "Is this essential?" comes into play here. Before jumping into an online argument, consider whether it will benefit you or others. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that it's better to focus on what you can control, your thoughts and actions, rather than trying to change others' opinions. Often, The wisest Stoic choice is to disengage from unproductive debates, preserving your peace of mind. Overcoming FOMO. The constant sharing of highlights on social media can amplify the fear of missing out, FOMO, making us feel like everyone else is living a more exciting or successful life. The Stoics would remind us that these external events, the vacations, parties, or achievements of others, are indifferent to our happiness. What matters is how we respond to them. Instead of allowing FOMO to dictate our decisions, we can focus on what truly brings meaning to our lives, resisting the urge to compare ourselves to others constantly. Epictetus emphasized that our happiness depends on our inner choices, not on the external circumstances of others. Digital self-discipline. Modern self-care practices, such as mindfulness and digital detoxes, often echo Stoic principles. To build resilience, the Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, such as fasting or going without luxuries. This could take the form of disconnecting from social media, turning off notifications, or engaging in activities that foster mental clarity. Digital detoxes help us step back from the constant noise of the online world and give us space to reflect on our priorities, much like the Stoics did in their daily practices of self-reflection and meditation. Though the technology of our modern world is vastly different from ancient Rome, the challenges we face remain remarkably similar. Stoicism provides us the tools to navigate these modern pressures, managing constant connectivity, avoiding online conflict, or overcoming the fear of missing out. By applying the core Stoic principles of self-discipline, focusing on what we can control, and mindful reflection, we can find greater peace, balance, and purpose in a world of endless digital distractions. In today's fast-paced, tech-driven environment, the wisdom of Stoicism remains a powerful guide. It encourages us to take control of our thoughts, limit the influence of external distractions, and find inner tranquility amidst the chaos of modern life. Conclusion. As we've journeyed through the lives of Lucius, Valeria, and Marcus, we've seen how Stoicism provided them with the tools to navigate selfishness and challenges with grace, wisdom, and self-control. From handling demanding customers in a Roman marketplace to navigating high society pressures and political rivalries, the lessons of Stoicism are not just ancient wisdom. They are practical strategies for modern life. The key takeaway from their stories and from Stoicism itself is this: we cannot control the actions of others, but we can always control our response. Whether you're dealing with a rude customer, a manipulative colleague, or the pressures of social media, Stoicism offers a simple yet profound approach. Focus on what is within your control, thoughts, actions, character, and let go of the rest. In doing so, you can maintain peace of mind, no matter the external circumstances. Here are the key lessons to remember. Composure in the face of selfishness. Like Lucius, staying calm and focusing on your reactions can turn difficult situations into opportunities for personal growth. Grace and social pressures. Valeria showed that maintaining your integrity and values in a world obsessed with status can bring true fulfillment. Integrity in leadership and work. Marcus's story reminds us that ethical leadership means standing firm in your principles, even when others push for selfish gains. Managing modern challenges. Whether dealing with digital distractions or online conflicts, Stoicism offers tools to regain focus and control over your life. The beauty of Stoicism is that it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Each complex interaction, each moment of frustration, is an opportunity to practice virtue and grow stronger in your character. If you found these Stoic lessons helpful, why not apply them in your own life? The next time you encounter selfishness, pause, reflect, and choose your response with wisdom. Remember, you always have the power to decide how you will react. And if you want to continue learning how to bring more peace, clarity, and control into your life, subscribe to this channel. We explore timeless wisdom from Stoicism and other philosophies, helping you apply these ideas practically to improve your everyday life. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Stoicism. Remember, it matters not what happens to you, but how you react. Choose wisely.